Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple. That's your no shit gaming news video. 3 news stories in one video with 0 faff. Before Marvel's Avengers became the newest poster boy for botched games as a service launches, there was Anthem. We all know the story of how it was pretty much a disaster from day one, but developer Bioware has been keen to salvage something from the wreckage. Every so often the studio has released little updates on the progress of the revitalized version of Anthem, seemingly called Anthem Next. In a new blog post, studio director Christian Daly explained the revamped progression, builds, and UI, and it looks like a step in the right direction. I'll do my best to sum up the post, but as always I suggest you read it for yourself because I'll probably miss out or gloss over some things. Ironically, the new UI looks remarkably similar to that of Destiny, which is a game that the mere mention of was forbidden during Anthem's development. Just please God, don't use a cursor on console. It's just not intuitive to use at all and was a real pain in the ass for the short time I played Destiny 2. By all means do it on PC because that's what it's actually built for, but an analog stick for that stuff is just no good. The blog post goes into most detail about the changes to how builds and progression will work. The new build improvements are meant to add choice and experimentation in your loadout, allow you to reliably create builds, provide choice and progression through skill trees, and expand on the fantasy and playstyles of each javelin. Abilities will be unlockable instead of random drops and can be boosted with mods. Weapons will fit into either primary or secondary categories, and all of this can be managed within the loadout menu rather than having to go all the way back to base. All this should give you more control over your loadout and how your javelin will actually play while streamlining the process as a whole. Replacing your vague pilot level, in Next your javelin will grow stronger through skill trees where you'll be able to spend skill points on abilities, passives, triggered abilities, and stat boosts. After completing the basic skill tree, you can specialize your javelin build. For example, with the Ranger class, which is your basic well-rounded jack of all trades class, it looks like you can specialize in one of 3 categories to form a subclass: Captain, Longbow, or Soldier. It isn't explicitly clear in the post, but my assumption is that Captain will have more passive team-based buffs, the Longbow will focus on heavy ranged ordnance, and the Soldier will be your tankier build. Artifacts are a new feature and seem to be a point of confusion for a lot of people. Along with mods, artifacts will replace components and are meant to be more than just stat modifiers. These are meant to be powerful gameplay items that can be customized, and the one shown is called a Skyfell launcher, which is a pair of back-mounted pods that transform into powerful rocket launchers, which is specific to the Ranger class. Unfortunately, not a lot of information is given to really explain how these artifacts actually differ between javelins or what advantages they can give you for a particular build. On the whole, this added level of specificity and fine-tuning with progression sounds like a great addition, but I've got a lot of skepticism about all these changes and there are still a lot of questions left unanswered. It's still unclear how the game will be monetized, when it will release, and what happens to people who already bought the original that was a total shit show. A lot of these changes do sound very promising on paper, but at the moment that's all they are. On paper. Anthem left such a bad taste in their mouth for so many that the devs have a lot of ground to make up to re-establish trust. For many, I doubt anything will be able to bring them back after being so burnt by the game and how EA handled things. I really want the game to be good, I mean no one wants bad games. So many of these bungled games as a service titles have great concepts at their core but end up getting in their own way. With Anthem Next, I'm hoping for the best but expecting the worst, which is pretty much the best we can do with these kinds of games. Flying around in sci-fi robot suits should be a foolproof idea, but with EA at the helm, I still have many doubts. Hopefully I'm wrong. What do you think? Are you hopeful that Bioware can redeem itself with Anthem Next, or are you far too damaged by EA to ever trust them again?
Trust in me.
And next up, needless to say, it's been a pretty tricky time for CD Projekt in recent weeks with everything that's been going on around Cyberpunk 2077. But the gaming community isn't the only one that's taken notice of all the controversy, as the company's stock price fell 25% over 2 months. Those 2 months, between August and October, have seen Cyberpunk dominate the headlines, but largely for the wrong reasons. To be honest, covering all the ups and downs of the game feels like beating a dead horse at this point. That 25% stock drop translates to about 2.5 billion euros, which is about 2.3 billion pounds or $2.9 billion. CD Projekt's stock peaked in August after the announcement of a Pokemon Go style AR game within the Witcher universe and raised its market cap, or total share price, to 9.6 billion. After that 25% dip, that cap is now at 7.2 billion. At its peak, CD Projekt surpassed Ubisoft as the dominant player in gaming in Europe, as Ubisoft was 8.6 billion to CD Projekt's 9.6 billion at the time. Currently, however, Ubisoft has reclaimed its title with a market cap of 10.2 billion million, 40% above CD Projekt's new figures. Ubisoft also has in its favour the fact that it's launching 3 big games coming within short succession. First is Watch Dogs Legion, which launched yesterday, and incidentally, Ubisoft sent me a code for it, but I didn't actually have time to play the damn thing, so hopefully my review will be up next week, so look out for that. But as a quick teaser, I'm not very impressed. Then there's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which launches on November 10th, and then Immortals Phoenix Rising on December the 3rd. All those games will probably sell fairly well for the company, especially the first two as they are recognizable and profitable brands, while CD Projekt bides its time until Cyberpunk eventually launches. Despite all this, CD Projekt's position as the major competitor against Ubisoft in Europe is still incredibly impressive when we consider how much the output of each company differs. Ubisoft punches out multiple games every year, while realistically, CD Projekt has only one certifiable hit with The Witcher 3. The company is bolstered by smaller titles like Gwent and its PC gaming platform GOG, but it's still a huge deal that a comparatively smaller company can still compete with a titan like Ubisoft. Before the announcement of the delay on the 27th of October, CD Projekt's stock price was 364.10 Polish zloty, which is around 79 euros, 71 pounds or $92, but it fell by about 9% overnight on the 28th to 331, which is around 71 euros, 65 pounds or $84. Stock prices go up and down like that all the time, and CD Projekt's even bounced back a little by the 29th, but it's still a nasty hit and it's unlikely to fully recover until the game is released. But being 25% down from your peak just 2 months ago is a nasty position for any business to be in. Though I don't really know what I'm talking about, and I do have every confidence that the company will earn all that back once the game launches. I mean, even if it's shit, it's still going to sell like crazy on sheer hype alone. That's assuming, of course, that it actually makes its revised release date of December the 10th, which honestly seems completely up in the air. Regardless though, I'm still looking forward to exploring Night City, whenever the hell that may be. And finally, while Ubisoft is currently outdoing CD Projekt once again, it also faced a hefty stock drop in response to a delay. In an earnings statement, Ubisoft explained that it has delayed the release of both Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Quarantine. This announcement coincides with a 6% drop in stock price from 81.9 euros to 76.86 euros. This is despite the fact that the company launched a new game on the same day with Watch Dogs Legion. In fact, the release of that game and this announcement sharing the same day is likely no accident, as this is probably an effort to help mitigate some of those stock losses. Far Cry was originally billed for release on February the 18th, while Rainbow Six was just listed as 2020, but both have been pushed into the 2021 fiscal year, meaning that neither will come out until sometime between April 2021 and March 2022. The reason given for these delays is to leverage their full potential in the context of production challenges caused by Foster's Fever. Foster's Fever is a pretty great get out of jail free card this year, but I'm always in favour of a delay if it makes the game better in the long run. But to be fair, I wasn't particularly interested in either of these titles, so it's not really a loss for me. And that's it for today. If you like this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell to stay notified about all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry Cooper. That's all for today. Bye for now.